Yo, what's good, family? We are back. We are in the building. The Raiders have a new head coach. Well, we'll have a new head coach. It's not official, but it's official. So, good day to be a Raider, man. Good day. I'm a little excited. It's been a long time since we've had, you know, last year had a little bit of optimism in the building. That didn't work out very well after the first game. The season collapsed, and we ended up, flat on our back where we are now. Robert Pena in the building. Happy birthday, my brother. What are you, like 24 now? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Raiders, Kubiak, man. So yeah, let me know. Get your thoughts in, get your comments in. I don't know why my hat looks like it's crooked as hell. What is going on with the film? It's whatever, but we rocking the side hat today. So yeah, man, that's where we at. That's where we're at. That's what we got. Klint Kubiak, Tom Palacero, Ian Rappaport, all the big dogs said it's pretty much it's a wrap. My guy, Michael LaFleur, got picked up by the Cardinals. Shout out to him, man. And I really didn't think he would take the Cardinals job to go against his mentor that he's been with, Sean McVay, for the last 3 years, to face him twice a year in the division and also have to face the Super Bowl, maybe winning, maybe losing champions this year, and the 49ers, who an injury plagued 49er team, man, was just beat up last year. So shout out, Mike LaFleur for having the balls to take one of the toughest jobs in football, in my opinion, right? The Cardinals, you don't know what you got with a quarterback. You got Jacoby Brissett. You could rock with that. You can make a trade. You could draft. You got a third overall pick. They could go with the Ty Simpson. They could maybe do something crazy, like the Colts did a couple years ago, and take a quarterback like Trinidad Chambliss, third overall. The Colts did it, right? So it could happen. It's been done before. I think I'm gonna turn this around because it's driving bugging the shit out of me. But yeah, man, it's happened before. So where will the Cardinals go? We don't know. But shout out, Mike LaFleur for having the balls to take a very, very difficult job. That is a horrible division to try to start your head coaching career at. But like I said, they do have the third overall pick. Almost 2K subs. Yes, we are almost there, man. Almost to 2K. Shout out to all the people that have rocked with me, that have clicked the sub button, and to all the 84% that watch my videos still and have not subscribed to the channel. Damn, bro, just subscribe to the channel. Why you keep coming back? Why you keep coming back? So yeah, we are almost to 2K, man. There will be something special when we get there. Some kind of giveaway. I don't know. Maybe Raiders Unleashed 2000 special commemorative T-shirt. Who knows? We'll do something, but haven't figured it out yet. Rosetown in the building, my guy. Let me know your thoughts on Kubiak. So now that Kubiak is not officially, but is officially, right, the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, how do you feel about it? I feel like for the first time in my life of, being a Raider fan, and what, 6, 7, 8 years I've been on the YouTube scene, not as a creator, but as a guy like Lawrence or Rosetown or all of y'all that come in and watch and comment. I was in that position for the last 4 or 5 years, and I just never there was never really any hype in the nation for any of the coaches. Not to it was off and on for Josh McDaniels, Dick Daniels, as I like to call him. Right, some people were okay with it, some people weren't. The same with the Jimmy G thing, right? Some people are okay, some people weren't. But the nation has been divided for a long time. And not only am I happy that we finally got a head coach, but man, I am ecstatic that this family that we call Raider Nation, right? this side over here, right? Raiders. The shit that we call Raider Nation is finally gonna be united because divided we ain't shit, but united we are the strongest fan base in the history of any sport. Whether you want to play soccer, baseball, basketball, it doesn't matter. This is the toughest, baddest, meanest, man, it's going to be nasty playing in Allegiant Stadium. I'm just saying that. I've called it and I've told y'all. We've talked about it a million times. Once we get established head coach, which we don't know, Kubiak may or may not be that guy, but all the point signs are pointing to his offense. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why the rest of the NFL should be very, very afraid that Klint Kubiak is taking this Raiders job with the rookie quarterback. Maybe not Fernando Mendoza. Maybe he goes and gets a guy like Kirk Cousins. Maybe he tries to bring in a former first overall and Mac Jones. Maybe he does the unthinkable and rocks with, Aiden O'Connell in the building. We don't know, right? We don't know what Kubiak's going to do in his first year. But I do know one thing. I love seeing the nation all on the same page. And it's been a long, long time, right? Most there are, you have your rebels, you have your rebels and your misfits that, got to do it for whatever, but for all the right reasons, right? Most of the people are in on Klint Kubiak. Most of the people are in on Fernando Mendoza. And it's going to make content creating a little hard for over the next couple months with everybody on the same page and having the same views and opinions. But I like it. I like it. Shout out to everybody in the building. I see y'all. I got to get glasses to see y'all completely. Bot running, learn how to customize it. I don't care about that. Excuse me. Robert Penna, how old are you today? You don't have to tell me, but you 24, 25? I know you can't be much older than that, OG. Rosetown in the building. How we feeling, Reb? I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I think Kubiak is definitely, he was the most coveted guy this year. I feel like the Raiders finally, had patience. Patience Danielson, wax on, wax off, right? They took their time. They did their due diligence. They went on defense. They went through offense. They brought in guys. They brought guys back in, and nobody tickled their fancy or stood out like Klint Kubiak. And when you look at the numbers with Mr. Klint Kubiak, right? Shit, did I erase it? Probably. Well, their offense. Shit, I don't have to look at the numbers. I think I got it memorized enough. Um, when you look at the numbers, I believe their offense last year was uh was 18th overall. This year they were third. I believe in passing they were up there, in the 20s. This year they were eighth. I do believe in rushing. They were 20th, somewhere 18th, I do believe, in the NFL in rushing last year with 93 yards a game. This year they were over 150 yards a game, third in the NFL. So he brings stability, right? He brings continuity. He brings an offense with a playbook that's proven to work. It worked until Derek Carr got hurt in DC. In DC with the Saints, right? It also worked when he was with the 49ers. It's worked everywhere he's went. The offense is clicked, and it's just become more and more pristine in the last couple years, right? Moving from one, moving from another. We will talk about some guys that also have jumped ship with him from one team to the next that could possibly be coming over to the Las Vegas Raiders because everybody wants to know who his staff is. We will talk about that. But my 5 reasons and what Klint Kubiak brings to the Las Vegas Raiders that we haven't had in a long time. He brings a modern offensive mindset, right? Somebody that's willing to adapt. Klint Kubiak has a reputation for a creative, adaptable offensive scheme. Those are key words right there. Adaptable offensive scheme. Last year, we got our asses handed to us in the first half. We could not recover in the second half. If we made it close in the first half, the third quarter, just like the year before, we got annihilated. So Adaptable offense, right? That's something that shit. I just like the sound of it. I'm probably going to keep saying it throughout the rest of this show. So if you get tired of hearing adaptable offense schemes, well, hit that like button, hit the down button, whatever it is. But that emphasizes scheming mismatches and maximizing players' strengths rather than forcing a rigid scheme. Oh, a rigid scheme. You mean like the one we had last year, where you were asking quarterbacks to do what they were not able to do, when you were asking offensive linemen to move from center to guard, which JPJ was able to do just fine. But Meredith struggled. Kappa struggled at right guard. Um, Stone Forsythe asking to play tackle all season long as a starter, right? Just not what he was capable of doing. So it's going to be different, right? Going to be different. Using mismatches, using players to maximize their strength. Can you imagine? Could you imagine a coach that comes in and maximizes Brock Bowers' strengths? Brock Bowers, yes, that dude that had broke all the rookie records as a rookie tight end, had most yards, most catching yards. Can you imagine this man in the red zone with a team like Seattle? If you want to know their red zone stats, I'll get to them in a little bit. So yeah, um, that means defenses around the league can't prepare for one statistic approach. He adjusts week to week, something we did not see at all. If you watch the Raiders offense, if you watch the film breakdown that I've done, if you watch the film breakdown that 805 Raider in the War Room do, if you watch down, who else does Tape Don't Lie, right? If you ain't subscribed to these guys, man, go shout out to them. So if you watch these guys, if you watch their film breakdowns, we all talked about the same things over and over again, right? Trips to the left, trips to the right, same ass weak formation, same same ass routes, and people just caught on. People got, they knew as soon as you lined up what was coming, and they took full advantage of it. Is why Gino had 586 interceptions. Number two, we will just keep rambling, and yes, we will be getting to a mock draft, so stay tuned because we're gonna mock it up. Um, Number two, he has a deep coaching lineage, which and very, very high on analytics insight. So this is a guy that uses the analytics to his um whatever I'm trying to say, to his advantage, right? Uses the stats, uses the analytics. Not a guy that is going to pull the Sean Payton, and in the first half, when you have a storm coming and the game could get very, very nasty in a snowstorm, you're going to go for it inside the 20 on a fourth down, right? I don't think Klint Kubiak is a guy that's going to, do something like that or make dumb mistakes. So, coming from a Kubiak coaching tree and also from the, you know, uh, Shanahan tree, right? Coming from those tree with exposure to success, offensive minds in the league, Klint Kubiak traditional combines traditional fundamentals with modern analytics. His blend gives the Raiders an edge on both planning and situational decisions. So, situational decisions. Let's talk about those. Like we just talked a little bit about going for it on fourth down, in the NFC and an AFC championship game like Sean Payton did. Wasn't the greatest move, right? So, plays like that, calling timeouts, challenging stuff that's obviously not a catch. We've seen Pete Carroll do that a couple times last year, throw the flag, and we're thinking, come on, man, it's right there on the replay. But not having the right guys in your ear, you make bad decisions. So being able to blend, this blend gives the Raiders an edge in both planning and game situations, which is something we haven't had in at least a couple years, right? Number three, he's a proven at developing quarterbacks. I mean, just look what he's done with Sam Darnold. You see what he did with the 49ers. You see what he did with Derek Carr. The one thing I had a little bit of question, and if you subscribe to this channel, I appreciate you. If you don't subscribe to the channel, damn, subscribe to the channel. But one thing we talked about that I was worried about with Klint Kubiak is when Derek Carr got hurt, that team fell apart. They were one of the best teams in football through the first 4 or 5 games that year. And then Derek Carr got hurt. He played through it. It wasn't the same. Then you had to bring in a rookie who, sat on the bench for 8 or 9 games and Spencer Rattler and developed. And then you had another guy that had already been there for 2 years and Max shit, I can't remember his name, but there was already quarterbacks there is what I'm saying. And the Saints fell apart. Yes, they had some injuries on defense, but they still had weapons. You have Alvin Kamara, no, you have Chris Olave, right? You have weapons over there. And that was one thing that truly, truly worried me when it came to that developing quarterback. But again, maybe it was the team, maybe it was the player. But looking at Spencer Rattler, looking at it, his numbers in college, very, very accurate. A guy that could throw on the run, move the pocket, can stand in the pocket and throw, has a decent arm, above average, in my opinion. And for some reason, it didn't work. So that's the one thing I worry about bringing in, a rookie coach with Mendoza. And we'll get to more in that here in a bit. But Kubiak has a track record for working with young quarterbacks and helping them grow, whether it's refining mechanics or improving pocket awareness, which that is one thing that Mendoza really needs to work on. If you go back and watch some of the Indiana games, he got hit a couple times, more than a couple times, where he had no idea, the guy was going to be there or was coming at all. So, got to work on pocket awareness in the NFL. We got to build the O line. That's without saying. Our building confidence. Quarterbacks under his guidance often trend upward, which is scary for future Raider opponents, right? Scary for future Raider opponents because we haven't had a quarterback trend upward in shit. I mean, I know y'all ain't gonna like it, but actually, since Aiden O'Connell took over his rookie year, he did trend upward, whether you hate him or not. So since then, before that was Derek Carr. It's been a long time since we had a quarterback trending upward, and hopefully Kubiak will bring that. Player-friendly leadership. There's been a lot of talks about Kubiak and his leadership. Watching his press conference, he doesn't really seem like that kind of guy, right? Why are you calling me? Um, so there's been some talks about leadership and guys buying in, which I don't know why those talks, came. He is kind of a monotone, but that's just in his press conferences. We don't know what anybody is when they get in the locker room, when shit goes wrong, right? When they get pissed off, when they're not happy, could be a totally different thing, right? So, from what I got is one constant in Klint Kubiak's coaching reputation is his ability to connect with players and get them to believe in his game plan. That kind of chemistry translates to better execution, less locker room friction, and a team that's tough to beat mentally and physically. And we've seen that with the Seattle Seahawks, right? We've seen a team that was very mentally and physically hard to beat, whether they were down, whether they were up, whether their quarterback was injured, whether they lost their number 2 running back that was their goal line go-to guy, right? And Charbonnet, whatever it was, right? They seemed to adapt and they were very, very prepared mentally, except for, Tyreek Woolen on the one sideline yelling at everybody. Almost cost his team the game. If the Rams could have scored off that, we could be talking about a whole nother team in the playoffs. But number 5 is his willingness to innovate, which God I love. Having a coach that was 74 years old that did not change his scheme, that did not change his game plan. Everybody around the NFL said the same thing. When you look at the Raiders play, it looks like Seattle. It looks like the Patriots. It looks like the Jets. It looks like everywhere Pete Carroll has been. The offense was the same thing. It was not Chip Kelly's offense, which a lot of people wanted to believe and put it on Chip Kelly. Pete Carroll had his hands way more in the offense than people wanted to believe. And, I said after he was gone that I had some things that I wanted to say that I didn't want to say, why he was a coach. But that's what I heard from a lot of people that said the same thing is Pete Carroll was too involved in everything. He wanted to be involved in the defensive room, in the linebacker room. He wanted to be involved in the O-line. He was involved in everything. So having a guy that doesn't seem like, I think his best years had passed him up. I thought that was not the greatest. So, Klint Kubiak, with his willingness to innovate, Kubiak isn't afraid to take calculated risks. Being aggressive on fourth down decisions, creative play calling, or unconventional formations. Teams that are predicted are easier to defend. Teams coached by an innovative leader are not. So, bottom line, bottom line, the NFL should be worried because because the Raiders under Kubiak are sharpening into a smarter, more capable, and more dangerous team. Opposing defenses, and yes, I'm reading my notes because I couldn't memorize all this shit. Uh, Opposing defenses will have to prepare for multiple looks. What the hell did I write there? And teams will need to be disciplined, coaching just to match Las Vegas Raiders preparation and execution. And we've seen that. We've seen that throughout Seattle all year long, right? Their execution, their preparation. It's a team that's very hard to beat. They're very focused on running the ball. They can win running the ball. They can win passing the ball. It doesn't matter. Shout out to my guy Lawrence in the building. If I didn't get you, Greg Brewer, Jason Ruiz. I see you. I see you. Shout out to Stream East in the building. Yes, that would definitely be the unthinkable. Yes, the unthinkable. So the unthinkable is the thumbnail. In case you've seen the thumbnail, man. The Raiders. Stefan was good. See you too. Faded Raider. I see you. The Raiders have done the unthinkable. Like I said, they pulled off something that so far, I mean, it's not. Why is my green screen so fucked up? Let me do this other way. I don't know what happened. All right, that's a little better. You know, they pulled off something that nobody thought, including myself. A lot of people thought the Raiders had no chance at landing Kubiak, that, he was going to end up staying in Seattle. And they pulled it off. They did their due diligence. They went through the whole process, and they definitely pulled off the unthinkable. What's up? What's good with you? Um, Faded Raiders, shout out for the $10 smackaroo. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hippo character going fast on his chair, propelling the chair across the room. I don't know why your super chats always do that, but they're kind of funny. Seahawks fans are mad. Raiders took their OC. They're saying we're gonna find him. We're gonna fire him in 1 or 2 years. I believe that's absolutely bullshit, and I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Where's my little thing? Oh shit, I don't have this set up. Um, I gotta get a damn little board so I could pop my shit up on all. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Maybe I'll use that 9.99 right there to help get to that. I'm saying, but I don't believe that's the case for the Raiders, man. I feel like this deal is going to be a deal like we talked about before. I said if they do get Klint Kubiak, it's going to wow some people, right? It's going to wow the NFL. It's going to wow teams, and there's going to be a lot of teams that are very pissed off, I think, at the contract that Kubiak is about to receive, because a lot of head coaches are going to want a lot of money that are already under contract, and it's going to make it's going to be a big problem, I believe, coming up very soon. So why is my camera jacked up like that? Yeah, so damn head cut off. Um, and I think it's going to be a problem, right? A lot of teams are going to be struggling you know, to keep these coaches because they're all going to want more money. And I've heard 5 years, 15 million a year. I think that's crazy, and just just outlandish, off the wall. So what I'm thinking, and this ain't no little birdie in my ear, this is just Raider Rebel intelligence doing a little homework. I feel like it's probably going to be $100 million contract. They did it with Gruden. They were probably gonna, they were gonna do it and they failed to pull the trigger with Ben Johnson. From what I heard from the Ben Johnson thing was they offered $15 million, the same thing they offered Pete Carroll, 15 a year for 3 years. And Ben said, nah, I can't do nothing in 3 years. It's not enough time, right? So that tells me they're gonna have to up it. So do you go 15 million 5 years? Or do you just make it like 10 million 10 years like they did with Gruden? And I don't know if the Raiders, how much they have faith in Klint Kubiak being the guy of the future, but from what I'm hearing is they have all the faith in the world. Tom Brady, from what I hear in the interview, they hit it off from day one, right? And this just came out is they both are all about ball. That's all they care about is football. Tom Brady, me, right? Most of you, um, they're all about ball. So that was a big hit right then. And then Kubiak impressed the shit out of Tom Brady. So I think this is a match made in heaven. Brady. If you follow Brady on social media, go check him out on um, Instagram. He's has little posts and shit, little corny innuendos. So go check it out. But I think Brady's giddy. I think Spytek's happy as hell. We know Spytek has he knows who Kubiak is, right? He worked with Gary Kubiak when he was a scout with the Denver Broncos, a team that won the Super Bowl. So there are connections, and those connections always come back around in a little circle. So I believe this team is very, very excited with what they got. I think the people in the building, and I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if they made it something crazy like 10 mil 7 years or 10 mil 6 years. Something. It's going to be something crazy because I know for a fact that Mark Davis flew to Seattle. We've seen pictures. If you haven't seen the pictures on X, he was sitting in a restaurant having dinner with Klint Kubiak by himself, no Spytek, no Brady, just Mark Davis. Because if you're going to pay somebody an outlandish amount of money, right, you want to know who this guy is. You don't want to trust Tom Brady and Spytek to say, this is our guy. You got to be comfortable giving that money. So I believe that's what the meeting was about. Mark Davis wanted to know, what he was getting into and what kind of guy he was getting. And obviously he fell in love with Klint Kubiak. Or, this wouldn't be a gentleman's verbal agreement that is going to be the head coach. But when you got Tom Palacero and you got, Ian Rappaport and Joanna Rossini and everybody else that, comes out and out of the woodworks when this shit happens, all saying the same thing, it's pretty much a lock. So yeah, it's an exciting ass time. And clean this damn screen. It's an exciting ass time, and I believe cold-heartedly that this deal will probably be more than 5 years. I don't know if 5 years, 15 mil is going to be enough, for him to have enough confidence that the Raiders are going to keep him around, because we heard all the talks about 5 years, 5 teams, moving his family to 5 different states. That's a lot. And when your kids get older, if you have kids, damn well they don't want to leave their friends once they, get to a certain age. When they're a little bit younger, it's a little bit easier to take them away from friends, right? Once they get new ones, they'll forget all about those kids. But the older you get, the more memory you get, right? And the better bond you build with those, with those people. So as a kid that moved a lot, I know what it's like to lose a lot of friends that very, very close to and never talk to again, back before we had cell phones and internet. And yes, I am that old. It's starting to show. So yeah, man. I think Kubiak is here for the long haul. I don't think he's here for a good time. I think he's here for a long time, right? So, with all that being said, they be dreaming it's gonna be the same. They're just mad. They're just mad because they lost one of their top offensive coordinators, a guy that took them to the Super Bowl, and now they're struggling to figure out who's going to be the next OC. And now they're also struggling out The Bills are hiring Bobby April as their new outside linebacker coach. Sources say with the DC at Stanford. What else we got? Breaking news. All this shit is popping up on my phone. Let me get to it real quick. Anything else? Um, 2 hours after they made the playoffs, multiple teams and head coaches made playoffs in 1 year. None of that shit matters either. So yeah, man, there's a lot of there's a lot of Seattle fans scrambling right now. They don't know what the hell to do. They don't know what's going on, right? They just lost a coach that's got them in a Super Bowl. They just found out. I'm sure the team already knows. And that's not something that you really want to go tell your team, right? We've seen the Cardinals do it with John Gannon last year, right? Or 2 years ago. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I think he got 2 years. But we've seen the Cardinals, go get a Super Bowl offensive coordinator, offensive guy. Didn't work out very good as a head coach, right? I think this is different. I just feel it. I feel like, Tom Brady and the Raiders brass, Spytek, I feel is a damn good judge of character. I like the draft that he had. And we'll go over those and get to some of those also in a minute. But Ian Rappaport said Klint Kubiak's resume is on the field. Yeah, we've heard that before, right? Where have we heard that? Antonio Pierce said my resume is on the grass, whether he should get the head coaching job or not after his in-room shit. So, one of the game's best coordinators and a leader behind closed doors. Now, soon to be Raiders head coach, Ian Rappaport. Ian Rappaport also said the Raiders will set to have the number one pick, Fernando Mendoza and Klint Kubiak, appear to be the pairing in Las Vegas. So, Ian Rappaport is not usually wrong. I can't think of maybe once something that he reported was going to happen didn't happen. If anybody has any other recollection of, that, then let me know. Also, just in case y'all are curious, because Zach Kerr, Zach Kerr is the interim defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots who are in the Super Bowl. He is only interim because Patriots defensive coordinator Terrell Williams ended up having cancer this year. Well, he is now cancer free heading into the Super Bowl. So I don't know if he will be calling the plays or if Zach Kerr will be calling the plays. But I do know Zach Kerr was a linebacker coach that took over in-room head defensive coordinator duties for the New England Patriots. And if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, this is a guy that I'm picking up the phone and I'm saying, yo, he's an in-room, so you can already make him DC, right? Because if they bring, Terrell Williams back up to the game, which I'm sure they will, he is the official DC, right? So this guy is just in room. So if the Las Vegas Raiders and Klint Kubiak are smart, they would pick up the phone and call this young man Zach Kerr, because I think he did a tremendous job with Caleb on Chasen, with that whole entire, defense, the front line, the back line, a bunch of, very, very young corners and safeties. Let some guys go like Marcus Epps, right? Let who was the other safety that I wanted the Raiders to pick up? But they moved on from a whole bunch of very good guys. And I'm bringing this up because, on this channel, we talked about it before. Jim Leonard, he is the defensive back coach, I do believe, and passing game coordinator for the Broncos, or was. He has now been snatched up, and he will be official hired as the Bills defensive coordinator. So another great young mind, another great defensive mind has been snatched up. Angel Eyes, what's good? Appreciate you popping in. So just another young up and coming innovative defensive coordinator who has been snatched up. Also, golly, another guy that you heard me talk about. We talked about it I think it was 2 Mondays ago or 3 months. Shit, it was been a month. It's been over a month when I gave you the names of guys that I wanted to be on this squad, no matter who the head coach was, that they need to take a look at because not every head coach is going to come in and have enough relationships in the NFL, right, to fill all the voids. Sometimes you're going to have to just go by what people are telling you, you know, suggestions, recommendations, right? My recommendation would have been Sean Duggan. The Dolphins are expected to hire Sean Duggan as their defensive coordinator. He was the former Boston College. He also worked with Jeff Hafley at Ohio State and last year at Green Bay. Right, we talked about Jeff Hafley and this guy. I figured, big guy, big tough guy, right? Physical defense, and just another guy that has moved on. Sean Duggan is no longer available. He will go from the Green Bay Packers to the Miami Dolphins. Expected, but more than likely. Also in the news, the 49ers are hiring former head coach Raheem Morris as their defensive coordinator. That is scary for my guy Mike LaFleur, who just took the job as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. Now you got to face, man. Um, yeah. So now you got to face Raheem Morris on defense with the 49ers. You got to face that Seattle defense, and you got to face the Rams. At least the Rams, he knows that staff pretty good and might have a little bit of a leg up because, this staff doesn't know what he's going to run or what he's about to do in Arizona Cardinals. So shout out to him. Uh, da, 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 da. What else we got? Um, Also, some names to watch. Some names to watch that Klint Kubiak could possibly bring in and more than likely bring in. But there was one guy, James Woods, who was already on the Raiders staff. I believe he's a defensive back coach and safeties coach, I do believe, for the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't have that in my notes. I'm thinking a guy like Steve Wilkes, a guy like George Edwards, Carl Scott, who I believe is with Seattle, a guy like Mike Zimmer, Adam Zimmer's son. There's another guy. And then, who's the other dude I talked about? Sorry for the silence. It's not my notes. Fuck. All right, I had a list of coaches that had transferred with I don't know where the hell it went. But anyways, the running backs coach for the Seattle Seahawks is also a guy that is the reason Seattle's running game went from 150, from 98 yards a game to 150 yards a game. He is a big part of that. He was also, with Gary Kubiak a long time, and now he's been with Klint Kubiak. So that is big news. And that's what I got, man. That's what I got. I'm very excited. Klint Kubiak, I think, big things are on the horizon for the Las Vegas Raiders, whether it's Fernando Mendoza, doesn't matter what quarterback it is. He seems to have, a good thing. But I will also tell you one more thing that I heard from somebody that I guess, all right, I can't say who that somebody is. So somebody that knows somebody that is somebody that I don't know how else to say it, but let's just say this. I was told that the Raiders were not willing to put Klint Kubiak in a position of drafting a rookie quarterback, because if you look at the way it's went in the past, right? Bringing in a first time head coach with Brian Daboll, he didn't make it through the season. Um, the Chicago Bears head coach, right, that drafted Caleb Williams, didn't make it through the season. Shit, even JD5, Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator, made it 1 year, right? These guys don't seem to have a great track record of first head coaches, and there's been more, and I'll look it up here in a minute. But there's been more, right? So there hasn't been a very great track record of first time head coaches being paired with rookie quarterbacks. And from what I hear, is the Raiders aren't willing to do that. And Klint Kubiak, I also heard, and I said this before on the live stream on DSR the other day when I was live on his shit, and I might be live on him again tonight, so pull up and check it out. But I heard some people say that Klint Kubiak was only going to take the job in Las Vegas if he could bring in his quarterback. Now, I don't know who that quarterback is, right? Maybe it's, I'm not going to say names because people just flip out. But we all know quarterbacks that have worked under Klint Kubiak. If you don't, look it up. It could be one of those, right? It could be a guy like Mac Jones. It could be a guy, like Malik Willis. Maybe he wants a mobile quarterback. Maybe Klint Kubiak was part of the plan to draft Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe last year, right? Was that a Klint Kubiak pick? Or was it Mike McDonald and the rest of the squad over there, the GM? We don't know. We don't know, right? So that could be a possibility. Maybe he already got a year developing Jalen Milroe, very athletic, very talented young man, could throw the ball a mile. Just got to work on some mechanics, and maybe 1 year with Klint Kubiak, maybe he's seen enough to be like, hey, Jalen Milroe was a second, or what was he, third round pick last year? Second round. He ended up going second, right? Was a second round pick last year. Maybe, just maybe, we trade that pick. Now, I know I just read Ian Rappaport said Klint Kubiak, and it looks like, right, Fernando Mendoza will be the pairing in Las Vegas. But looks like and will be are two different totally things, right? If he came out and said it's guaranteed Klint Kubiak will pick Fernando Mendoza as his quarterback, then possibly, I would have, wouldn't have so much belief. But I'm also have heard that there is a scenario where somebody in the building, okay, I'll just say it, John Spytek. There is a scenario, from what I heard, a little birdie in my ear says from what he's hearing, John Spytek would rather build this team since it's a rebuild. And, this could be somebody talking out their ass, or this could be legit. So far, most of them have been, I think, almost all of them have been legit. But Spytek would rather build this team and take a quarterback possibly next year, because there's a lot and you can get one, anywhere in the draft. Also with the fact that Kubiak, has been, reported to want to bring in his own quarterback and maybe not draft a quarterback, right? But there are some guys that I heard that he was looking at, that are tops in the draft. Also, I heard a report from a Jets guy that's very, 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 very respected in the in the reporter business, works for the Jets, that I follow, that I talked to, that said there is a rumor, and it's just a rumor, that the Jets are in love with Fernando Mendoza. The owner is in love with Fernando Mendoza. He loves the kid's character. He loves everything about him. And there is a very big possibility that the Jets, 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 might make a swing for the fences to get Fernando Mendoza. So stay tuned for that because, like I said, there's always reports that say this and they say that, but nobody knows guaranteed. And I do know that where there's smoke, there's fire. So if the Raiders have an opportunity, which they already do, to bring in Klint Kubiak, and this man doesn't want to take the chance of drafting a rookie quarterback and going that route 3 or 4 years before, or 2 years, maybe they're good this year, but if he has to draft a rookie quarterback that the owner wants to sit for a year, maybe he's not willing to go that route, right? It's official. You're crazy, and the little birdie needs to get a needs to get what? Um, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, all right, let's get into it. Enough talk about Kubiak. Let's get into this damn report of let's get into this mock draft over here. Let's mock it up. All right, so what we have here is a failure to communicate with my guy Lawrence. Fucking Lawrence. All right, mock simulator. This one, I do believe that's it. Share to the screen. Let me fix this. That is horrible. That's not going to work. Hold on. Son of a bitch. Thought I was more prepared than that. I need this one. That still looks like shit. Okay, let's go that. I guess. I don't know what y'all can see. All right, so what I have done here is, since I'm so crazy, I've already went through the first round, right? We went through the first round, and this is it. So, yes, I picked Fernando Mendoza, man, because, I'm just crazy. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. So don't be surprised if there's a lot of rumblings coming up. But Fernando Mendoza, pick overall for the Raiders. Number 2, Arvell Reese to the Jets. Number 3, Ruben Bain to the Cardinals. Number 4 is Jeremiah Love to the Titans. I did not expect that. David Bailey goes way higher than a lot of people expected. Not me. I have him as my number 1 edge rusher to the New York Giants. I don't think that's going to happen unless they plan on trading Abdul Carter. Mekhi Lemon goes to the Browns. Jermon McCoy, a dog, goes to the Washington Commanders. Jordan Tyson to the Saints. Sonny Styles, Ohio State linebacker, to the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, that's scary. I hope that doesn't happen because that will make their defense back to that number 1 shit in a minute. The Bengals with the smartest pick they could have ever done. Francis Maigoa. The Dolphins steal my guy at number 11 and Caleb Downs. And that defense is going to be off the hook with the best safety in the league probably in the next year or two. Might already be. Golly. And then a crazy ass pick. If I'm the Raiders, when you see Caleb Downs, when you see Mesidor, when you see David Bailey, and you see these guys in the first round, and you're thinking, damn, if somebody would just call with 2 first-round picks and you don't take it, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with you. You have to question ball knowledge. Mansour Delane, absolute dog. Have him as my number 2. Some people have him as their number 1. I have him as my number 2. And if I take, my Arkansas glasses back on, he might be number 3. But that's just my opinion. Or 4. I don't think I have Jalen Neal up that high. I think I have him at 5. But the Dallas Cowboys, they get their guy that they drastically needed on defense. Carnell Tate goes to the Rams. That is scary as hell. Maybe, Devontae Adams, the way he was crying, maybe he doesn't come back and play another year. who knows? But Carnell Tate with Puka Nakua, it should be outlawed. This should not even be allowed. Um, but somehow it was. Cassius Howe to the Ravens is very very nasty. That's filthy work. Peter Woods to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They can use an interior pass rusher, a guy that's just gonna, you know, work the hell over every offensive lineman they put in front of him one on one. Going to take up a lot of double teams. Cedric Falk out of Auburn, a player that, you know, every time I turn on his film, I just want to rewind it and watch it again. I don't know how he fell to 16. Some people have him as the fifth or whatever best edge rusher. He's got to be in the top three, man. Got to be in the top three, my opinion. Avion Terrell, another corner taken by the Detroit Lions. They could definitely use that. Their need was cornerback, edge, tackle, and center. Not a lot of needs for the Lions. Coaching might be a big need there. Avion Terrell out of Clemson, an absolute dog. We'll get to more of those. Caleb Banks goes to the Vikings. TJ Parker out of Clemson. Another edge rusher guy goes to the Carolina Panthers. Denzel Boston, my number one receiver in this draft. I don't know how anybody cannot have this dude in the top three. He would be my first pick. If I was a GM, I'm picking Denzel Boston. Might not be the fastest, but the strongest, the smartest, route running, efficiency, everything about this kid just screams Las Vegas Raider to me. I won't give him any comps because I know people hate that, but I have a couple. Spencer Fano to the Steelers to protect that young quarterback, you know, Will Howard, when he finally gets in the game sometime next season. Yes, you're hearing that first. Mark it, bank it. If Aaron Rodgers comes back, he might not play the entire season. Look for Will Howard to might get his shot next year. And Spencer Fano would be a nice, you know, security blanket for the young man if they decide to bring him in. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to say his name. Olia Vega Loan. My top guard in all of this draft. It's not even close. We'll be going to the Chargers. Sorry, I had to spit that horrible taste out of my mouth. We cannot let Tim, you know, just stay with the Mekhi Becton that you drastically overpaid. That was a bust last year after coming off a Super Bowl. Just stick with him. Please don't give this guy to the Chargers. Oh, but yeah, he goes to the Chargers. Keenan Saquid, tight end to the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't see them picking him there, but that's what they got. This is simulated again. Caden Proctor goes to the Browns from the Jacksonville pick. Caden McDaniel, defensive end for Ohio State, to the Chicago Bears. That's going to be nice. Wide receiver KC Concepcion to the Buffalo Bills. Now, if I'm the Buffalo Bills, Concepcion is a great pick. You know, height, strength, long arms. Can make contested catches, can, you know, create separation, get open. But damn, I would have tried to maybe sneak up there a little bit further and grab one of those big dogs like Denzel Boston. If it was me. But Christian Miller, defensive end for Georgia. I mean, yeah, defensive line for Georgia. Goes to the San Francisco 49ers. CJ Allen. Definitely in my top three, you know, maybe top five. I won't go top three yet. I haven't, you know, broke them down that much, but CJ Allen out of Georgia, really love this man's game, love his physicality, love his, you know, ball awareness. Great tackler, pretty damn good in coverage too. So Ty Simpson, this is a shocker. Ty Simpson to the Rams at number 29. So the Rams, two good picks in this draft so far. And then number 30, Brandon Cece. Brandon Cece. I don't know how to say his name right. I'll probably butcher it the whole entire draft process. South Carolina corner to the Denver Broncos. Man, if they pick up this dude, I'm just going to quit watching football. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You can't keep giving Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos guys that are just going to dominate in our division. The Raiders need to have to get somehow back up in this first round and mingle things up, or trade the first overall pick and get two picks in this first round. Because looking at these guys right here, I'm like, oh my dang, right? Oh my dang. So that's where we're at. The last two are Caleb Lameau. Yes, he made it in the first round to the New England Patriots. That is a steal for the Patriots. Monroe Freely, tackle from Georgia. Man, I kind of like this kid. I like him a lot. I didn't think he would go before some of the guys that we're about to talk about in a second here. But Monroe Freely, tackle for Georgia, goes to the Seattle Seahawks. And, if y'all watch this channel, you know how I felt about Gray Zabel when everybody argued with me. I even had a bet with somebody, $50. And I can't find the damn thing I had saved in my phone for my receipts. But somebody bet me $50 that Gray Zabel will not go in the first round. So if you're out there, I know you won't pop your, come back and say your shit. You got one over on me. I forgot who you were, but when I see your name, I'm gonna remember your ass. Calvin Aubrey goes with the first pick in the second round to the Jets, corner out of Arizona State. Very, very good pick for the Jets. I probably would have went. Well, it's just me, but I won't say who I would have took there. Safety out of Toledo, and damn, we know how those defensive backs be coming out of Toledo. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, great pick for the Arizona Cardinals. Although with Mike LaFleur being their coach, I do believe maybe they go offensive line here. They did go offensive line third overall. Still, I would still look at offensive line here. And then we got Mason Thomas edge out of Oklahoma, and the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. So, full draft. Where's the draft? How do I get out of here? Damn it! I'm gonna hit the wrong button and fuck this up, aren't I? All right. Good Lord. I was making sure I didn't end this and have to start it all over. So the Raiders are on the clock with the 36th pick overall in the second round. And we have Akeem Mesidor. And I could just stop right there and click the button. But, let me know how y'all feel. Damn, I can't see y'all comments. Holy shit. Well, this is going to be hard. Where did the comments go? Hold on. Okay, much better. Much better. All right, got you. Shout out for the super chat, $5, right? And the hippo character with pop outs of water surrounding by a hippo squad. Okay, shout out for the $5 holla, man. But yeah, let me know in the comments. 17 people in the building. I would just pick Akeem Mesidor right now. I mean, pair with Max Crosby, absolute freak of nature. You've seen what he did, on the other side of Ruben Bain in Miami. We've seen what he did out throughout the playoffs. This man is him, bro. So I would take Akeem right off the rip. He's there. He's the 32nd best player in the draft. We're picking 36. Just do the math, right? You get a player that's, was supposed to be picked four picks before you got there. And to me, that would be my pick. But let's see who else is there. Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville. We got Fernando Mendoza in the first. Do we go there? Safety. Dylan Thielman. Dude, Thielman is a dog. Kind of reminds me, and not just because he's white, right? But he kind of reminds me of Cooper DeJean. A little bit taller, not as bulked up, but speed-wise, ball-wise, he kind of reminds me a lot of Cooper DeJean. And the Raiders need a safety really, really, really bad. Missed on Caleb Downs. This is like probably the second or third best safety in the draft. We need to build defense. Anthony Hill is also here at linebacker. That's, I mean, golly, that's hard to pass on too. 39th, you have Gabe Jackus, defensive end from Illinois, Jeremy Bernard, you know, AJ Halsey, also offensive line. I mean, we do need a guard. Any Mal, Emmanuel Priagon would definitely. Let's see what we got here. Um, so in 2005, he was an 87 overall. Played in 15 games, 910 offensive snaps. Damn, he got an 88.5 run blocking grade. I mean, how do we not just pick him now? He's got an 88.1 pass blocking grade. He's not a great gap, um, but zone grade 93. True pass rushing set 85.1. That's kind of hard to say no. I mean, we did get Fernando Mendoza, and if you want your quarterback to succeed, how else does your quarterback succeed? I mean, look at these games, bro. Look at these games. 73 against Oklahoma, it was a 85. Against Northwestern, a 72. I don't even know who the hell that is. A 70 against Penn State. He had a 78.9 grade. Against the champions, Indiana, he had a 74.4 grade. Against Rutgers, 79. Against Washington, a 70. I don't know who that the hell is. That is Iowa. No, that's not Iowa. They're not green. But an 85 grade. SC a 72 grade. I mean, damn. And then they played Indiana again. He only had a 74 grade, but he had a damn good grade the first time. I don't know how to get out of this. I hope I don't fuck this all up. All right. So, yeah, man. Another linebacker. We pick again. Just so you know, we pick again the 67th pick. So if we pick here at 36, we don't pick again for another 31 picks, which that means every one of these guys, Colton Hood. I mean, Colton Hood would be a damn good pickup. He's going to be gone. LT Overton, another monster. Lee Hunter. God, I would like to take Lee Hunter right here. Keon Scott, the corner out of Miami. All these guys are going to be gone, right? So this is why you could take a quarterback, but you could trade back and have an opportunity to get four of these top 50 guys, which it stops at Keon Scott. But then you go Romeo Heights, D'Angelo Pons, Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. Golly, he's going to be gone at 66. Jake Golday, Omar Cooper Jr., right? All these guys are going to be gone, man. So I'm going to look at tackle because I think we need a right tackle very, very bad. And it looks like Caleb what the hell? Thiernan is 53. And then you have the Arizona State guy, right? I do believe this is a kid from Africa who only started playing in his junior year of high school. So he's only got like a couple years experience, but looked crazy out there in practices at the Senior Bowl. Max Hean Anchor, absolute dog, but he's at 63. We got Jennings Dink. Okay, we don't have to go offensive line right here. I really want a corner. All right, let's do this. Let's just take Akeem. I like Mesidor. Give somebody to pair with Max Crosby. What's good, D Menace in the building? Appreciate you. Glad you could make it. What the hell just happened? What did I do? What the fuck happened? Whew. All right. All right. So, y'all want to go back over the draft order, see who we missed on? Because, man, it was a lot. All right. So, here we go. We missed on 36 from us. The very next pick, right? I told you I wanted Emal Pregon. He was down like that. Chris Bell was the next pick. Gabe Lucas, Illinois. That's a damn good pick. Holy shit. And Dylan Theraman goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. See, there was a reason. There was a reason I wanted this man. Now they have Sonny Styles and Dylan Therion. Um, Theraman, however you say that shit. This defense for Kansas City would be nasty if they end up with picks like that. Hunter Ellis in the building was good. Donkey was good, my guy. Defensive end Caden McDonald. I think he was gone. We'll get to it. Eli Stover, Romeo Knight to the Saints. Zion Young. I really would have liked to have him, but I'll take Akeem Messador. Um, Deontay Lewis to the Jets. Jeremy Bernard, Alabama kid, to the Ravens. That would be absolutely crazy to pair him with a two-time MVP. Come on, man. That would be absolutely crazy. Anthony Hill went a little later than I thought. Linebacker out of Texas, 46. AJ Halsey, Keontae Scott, Lee Hunter, Thurman, D'Angelo Pons went. Nice pickup. D'Angelo Pons to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That would be good. Colton Hood, of course, he ends up with the Eagles. I don't know why. All they do is draft defensive backs. Chris Johnson went to the Chargers, and I should have went defense. I should have went defensive back. That sucks. Elijah Surratt is the pick above us to the Titans. That's going to be nice with Cam Ward. That would be great watching Cam Ward throw to Elijah Surratt. All right, we are on the board. We needed a quarterback. We got that. We need wide receiver, a guard, a tackle, a D line, a linebacker, and a corner. It says we didn't need edge, but I feel we needed edge, and I'm taking the edge. So we now have running back Jordan Price would be a damn good pickup. I would not mind having Jordan Price, somebody to take at least 7, 6, 7, 8 carries off of our guy Ashton Genty a year. I think that would be huge. But let me know your picks, man. I'm going through these for you. So Jordan Price, Trinidad Chambliss would have been there in the third round. If I'm the Raiders and you're telling me I can trade Fernando Mendoza pick and get Trinidad Chambliss possibly in the third round, I would have to do it, man. I would have to do it. Anthony Lucas. Anthony Lucas. I wish I wouldn't have took an edge. I probably should have went offensive line in the last round if I knew Anthony Lucas was still going to be here. Because this man, remember that name, USC Anthony Lucas. This dude has all the intangibles. Was on an okay UCLA team. I mean USC team. But wait till this dude, man, shows off his shit in the combine. Very, very physical. Pro day is going to be nice. And I believe he's going to have a decent career in the NFL. I think you get with the right defensive line coach like a Robbie Leonard, which more than likely will not be with the Raiders. Max Clare, we don't need. Another tight end, we don't need. Corner is Dalen Everett, 72. Caden McDaniels. Chris Brazel. I wouldn't mind Chris Brazel either. Jake Slaughter, Coleman. See, and now we're in the third round, and it doesn't look like, Jennings Dunker. I think I'm going to go Jennings Dunker. Let's see what we got. Wide receiver is our need. We have Miami, CJ Daniels. What do you have? Average depth of catch, 2 yards. Deep yards, he had 206. Deep catches, he had 7. Missed tackles, 4. Screen catches, 14. Yeah, I don't think we need a lot of screen guys. 6 in the slot. 11 contested catches was 36. I don't think we need a receiver. Nothing really pops right there for me. Chris Basil, Deion Burks, damn. Malachi Fields. What's our next pick? What's our next pick? 102. God, I might have to trade. I might have to trade up. We might have to trade up. Might have to trade up. Get a receiver, Malachi Fields. But I feel right now the best thing we could do is protect our young investment. Clemson Blake Miller is that guy. But I'm going with Jennings Dunker. Whether he plays tackle, whether he plays guard, it doesn't matter. Wherever he plays, he's going to dominate. This dude is a freak. Let's look at his numbers in Iowa. He was a 92 overall grade in 2004. This year, he was a 82 grade, played in 13 games, 11 last year, 13 in 2023. He has 729 offensive snaps this year, 588 last year, and 712 the year before. So 3 years of college, he has what, 14, 19, 20, 22, 2,200 snaps. Run blocking snaps, he has another 4, 7. What do we have? 4, 7, 10, 11, 1,100 run blocking snaps. Yeah. Run blocking grade an 80. Zone grade 86. A gap scheme. I don't know what Klint Kubiak runs. If he runs a gap scheme, I think he runs more of a I think he does run outside gap. I think he does. Raiders. Furpo in the building. What's good? And true pass set pass blocking. So he's not great pass blocker. He is a great run blocker. But looking at what he's done, man. Let's look at. I like Blake Miller too. Let's look at Blake Miller's got. Same numbers. Definitely a better pass blocker. Not as good as a run blocker. I'm gonna take my chances. I'm gonna take Jennings Dunker here in the third. Tackle out of Iowa. So we got our tackle for the future. And best players on the board just happens to be Brian Parker out of Duke, which, man, I really, really like Brian Parker out of Duke. So that'll be for next draft. I know I don't have to take one in the third. Safety out of Arizona. Again, is Smith, Malik Muhammad. I think Malik Muhammad, I thought I had like my 12th or 13th best corner. Zon Stribling. Ooh, Bud Clark safety at 109. What are we picking? 102? Yeah, I might have to go Bud Clark safety right here. Nicholas Singleton out of Penn State would be nice to pair with Ashton Genty, a guy that, can run up the middle, can get skinny through the holes. Nice gap scheme runner. Didn't have the greatest year this year, but last year was, one of the top running backs in all of football. So let's look at that. Let's go by position. We have wide receiver is Stribling, Eric McAllister. I wouldn't mind that. Jacoby Lane at a USC, 136. Yeah, I think he might be there in the next time we pick running back interior. We need a linebacker bad. Who's there? Aiden Fisher, Indiana. There are more. Harold Perkins Jr. at 148. All right, we can wait on linebacker. Let me know if y'all see anybody you want, man. Let me know. Let me know. I need help. I mean, I don't need help, but I could use help. We got Eds. What we got for D line? Texas Tech, Skylar Gilhout. I kind of like Skylar. Mardo Riggs, Tim Keegan, David O'Kay from Arkansas. I'm not drafting 144. What's he got? Yeah, he didn't do great. I didn't think. Yeah, you're trash, bro. No. No, 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 no. Kind of like Caleb Proctor. Cameron Ball. Yeah, we can get Cameron Ball later. We will take Cameron Ball later. All right, so our position needs are tackle, we got quarterback, we got what we get. Fuck we get. So we got quarterback, we got edge, and we got a tackle. We need a corner, we need a linebacker, and we need a guard. And I really should have took a guard. I don't think we need a guard though. I think that's Jack Ken in the building. What's good, my guy? I don't think we need a guard. I think with Caleb Rogers, with Jordan Meredith, he's a UDFA. You can bring him back on the cheap. I think he played damn good at the guard position. I mean, he was top 5 in the NFL in guards 2 years ago on an Antonio Pierce coach team. So I think I think we'll probably move away, and then you have JPJ, who's probably going to be a guard. You have Kappa on the ship for one more year, who I like better at center. I don't want him playing guard, but not want him on the field if possible. So I don't really feel like guard is a main thing. Um, what is the other one? Wide receiver. It says we need wide receiver, defensive line, and linebacker. All right, what we got for linebackers? You got Aiden Fisher, Ty Moore. Let's go Harold. Oh, I can get him next round though. We got 3 4th round picks. I'll get my linebacker there. Safety wise, we do need a safety bad. I should have took Bud Clark is there. What are we picking at 102? That's a bit of a gamble. Michael Traff from Texas, I like also. Anybody later that I could pick up? Peyton Bowen. I wouldn't mind Peyton Bowen. What's Peyton Bowen's numbers? Let's see, Peyton Bowen. 72. Damn, he was horrible last year. Did they move him positions or something? Coverage grade 76, run grade 72, 77. Missed tackle rate 9.3, forced incompletion rate 18.2. Okay. Average depth of run tackle 4.2. That's not bad numbers. Run stops 438th in the country at 7. Good lord. Coverage stops 85th at 10. That's not too bad. There's a lot of corners or safeties in the league. Receptions and targets. Damn, targeted 33 times, gave up 24 catches, 5 touchdowns allowed, 2 interceptions. I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna pass on that. All right. Well, shit. Think one more thing. Let's check out guards. It says we need a guard. DJ Campbell from Texas. Oh, Bo Stevens. Let's go, Bo Stevens right here. Wait, 129. Somebody might take him. Kalen Rutledge too. I think we can wait on guard. I don't know. I think we can wait on guard. All right, let's go. Best available would be safety Gina Smith. I don't like that. I like Malik Muhammad better than that. What's Malik Muhammad's numbers? 70, 500 defensive snaps, 300 cover snaps, receptions 21, targets 34. Good lord. Gave up some catches, kid. What do you do against the big schools? 66 against Ohio State, Oklahoma 71, 63 against Arkansas. We're going safety Bud Clark here. We're going safety Bud Clark. I feel the Raiders will spend heavily on the O line. They might in free agency. They might, or they might just want to bring in young guys that they can develop with their young quarterback, with Mendoza. Carson Hamilton, Katron Allen. Katron Allen actually had a better year than than Singleton from Penn State. Kind of like that too. Michael Trav, Drew Allar. I don't think we need another one. Halfback, Damon Claiborne. Fuck. Did I just take a corner? Why did he not show up on my shit? No, I took a safety. All right, we're going corner here. We're gonna build the shit out of this defense young, right? I got edge, tackle, I got safety. I believe the next best player on this board, without a shadow of a doubt, is Julian Neal. Today is Dixon. I'm taking my Arkansas boy, Julian Neal, 6'2", 220 something pounds, 35-inch arm or 34-inch arms. Sorry, bro. I need to dip out. Much respect. Oh, you're all good, my guy. Appreciate you. Tell everybody in the next live I say, what's up? All right. So, best players are. We are picking 134. We got to go offense. We got to get some kind of weapons for our young. Oh, well, that's easy. Mike Washington is still on the board? Dude, I'm taking Mike Washington here. Draft another quarterback to replace AOC. Shit. We don't need to do that, bro. We already have a backup that's got 3 years experience. That's probably better than any one of these dudes you're going to get. But Mike Washington, there's no way. Mark my words. No way in hell that Mike Washington falls to pick 141. There's just no way he falls to the fourth round. This is the second best. Second, if not the first. I mean, you could put him up there. If he was playing for Notre Dame, like Jordan Love or Jeremiah Love, I mean, you could put him up there. And Mike Washington is an absolute freak. But if we draft him, he might take Genty's job. I'm not going to lie. He might take Genty's job. All right, what's the best receiver? I really want Mike Washington, bro. Wait, we got 3 fourth-round picks. I'm taking Mike Washington now. I'm not even waiting. Not even waiting. Wait, what picks do we have? We have 134. Oh. I already used 2 for damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. All right, let's see what we have. Wide receiver. Fred Lance, Aaron Anderson, Ted Hurst. Ooh, let's just do that right there. Tyron Montgomery, too. I think I got to take Tyron Montgomery. But like, I got to look at Ted Hurst's numbers. At 82 overall, 442 snaps, 72 in the slot, 370 wide snaps. That's your X receiver. 71 receptions, targeted 125 times. How bad was your quarterback? Oh, Georgia State, probably not very good. All right, receiving grade at 82. Yards per route run 2.4. Oh my God. Contested catch rate 59%, over 500. It's all right. Drop rate 9%, not very good. Grade versus man coverage 71. Yards after the catch 5.3. Average depth of target was 12. Anything stand out? Contested catches, he was eighth at 16 caught. 9 out of the slot, 12 screens, 11 deep catches, and 18 missed tackles forced. 24th in the. Okay, I like that. I like that. This is analytics. No analytics. What's this? Can I get a size? Can I get some shit? There we go. 6'3", 195. He was 150 on the big board, and we are picking where? 134. It's a little pricey, but we don't pick till 170. I like Tyrone Montgomery though, man. I think we need to replace Trey Tucker. I don't think draft Ilar. He's 10 times better than AOC. I don't think he's 10 times better than AOC. I guarantee you he doesn't have the mind capacity or the mind strength. We've seen how he played last year with Penn State when all his weapons got hurt. You're right. AOC can come back and flip up water. Yeah, he could do that too. You never know. Somebody's got to be the water boy. I mean, shit. I got no stats on this kid. Tyrone Montgomery. They got nothing on Tyrone. I think I'm gonna take Tyrone, bro. Cyrus Allen, Chase Roberts, Zion Thomas, Jake Crawford, Kevin Coleman Jr. Do I have any standouts in here that I could take later? Yes, I'm going through these fast. I apologize. I don't see anybody. Chris Hilton, maybe at LSU. What was Chris Hilton? God, you suck. He had some bad games, bro. 13 games played. Ouch. 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 All right. So we are going. Best player available. Thomas from LSU. Over Mike Washington. All right. These are their best. This is what they have best available. They have Drew Alar, Kalen Rutledge, which, damn it, I really want another guard, but man, I think we'll probably go in free agency. They have a center out of Kentucky, Jager Burton. We probably might need a center depending on what they do. Linebacker Trey Moore. God, if we don't get a linebacker, I don't know who we're going to get in the draft. Let me check out this linebacker. 78, 75. He regressed, whatever you want to call it. Missed tackle rate 15%. You know tackling. You got to go. Mike Washington at 141. Massis, the cornerback from Cal. I liked him last year. I also liked the cornerback that they got from Cal. Jamari Taylor. Arnon Anderson, Harold Perkins. I think I want to go Harold Perkins here. We went so much defense, though. What'd you say, Thomas? Let's see where he's at. One more time. Got Will Anderson from LSU and Zion Thomas. What was his measurements again? First look. He's 5'10", 192, 174 on the big board, and we're picking at 136. That's way too much of a reach. I can't do that. That's too much. Too much reaching. Let's try his counterpart. 25 in the slot. He's basically a slot guy. 72 receiving grade. I like that. That's not bad. It's not bad. Man, oh man. Decisions. I really like Ted Hurst. I should have picked him. Oh, Jaden Ott out of Oklahoma. 170. I think I'm going Mike Washington. I'm going Mike Washington. I can't pass this up. We need a running back. Gotta have help. Who's the best kicker available? The best kicker would be a good time right now, right? Special teams. Will Farron, Drew Stevens out of Iowa. These guys are all projected to go 193, 194. All right, let's see what some of them got. Because we definitely need a damn kicker. It's a good thing you said that. I don't know how to read this. What does this mean? What does this mean? Dig deeper with college analytics. I just want to know, can they kick? Fuck. Can they kick? If I leave this page, something's gonna happen. I know. Trends. Oh, here we go. 75th percent. Okay, let's just take a kicker last. Let's take a kicker last. We get a kicker with pick number 7. I think that's the best bet right there. Let's go over what we got. We have Fernando Mendoza, Akeem Mesidor, Jennings Dunker to protect our man. We have Bud Clark at safety, corner Julian Neal from Arkansas, and Mike Washington, halfback. I just couldn't pass him up. You got to have somebody to take the load off of Ashton Genty, right? So we are at pick 174, 5th round. We have 2 sixth and a 7th, 4 picks remaining. And the Las Vegas Raiders needs are quarterback, we got that. Wide receiver, we did not. Guard, we did not. Tackle, we got. Defensive end, we did not. Linebacker, we did not. And corner, we did not. Who's the best? Oh, we got a corner. I mean, best linebacker is. Golly, you're going to hate me if I pick 3 Razorbacks in a row. But really, Xavier Sori is the best linebacker left. $71 pass grade, 49 run defense. He was on an absolutely horrible team. They played Texas, they played LSU, they played Missouri, they played Michigan State, they played Auburn, they played A&M, they played Texas, Notre Dame, Ole Miss. That is the worst ever schedule ranking I've ever seen from a team that won 2 games last year. They just killed my hogs, bro. Killed my hogs. So Sorby is at 233. We don't need a linebacker now. We need to go wide receiver. Gotta get somebody to throw this man the ball. Brendan Thompson out of Mississippi State. $76 in man coverage. 7 missed first tackles. Deep catches 11. Screens, slots. Noah Thomas, Josh Coleman. They're not a lot of picks to choose from this late. So we are going to go defensive tackle, I think, somehow. Oh, yes. I'm going to do something stupid here. I'm going to take Max Crosby's twin out of Iowa. 554 defensive snaps. He only played in 290 last year and 147 the year before, so he has definitely progressed every single year. Pass rushing snaps out of those 544, 306 were pass rushing. Run defense 227. He has 6 sacks, 11 quarterback hits, 28 hurries, 3 batted balls. He has lined up in the B gap. He lined up outside tackle. Of course, he's the edge rusher most of the time. Pass rushing grade at 86.1. If y'all haven't watched tape on Max Llewellyn from Iowa, go watch film on him. I believe the best game to watch is the Indiana game. I'm thinking off the top of my head what other game he stood out in. Um, he didn't really stand out too much in that game, but they got a lot of veteran solid offensive lines, but he's a problem, bro. He's a problem. True pass rushing set, he's at 84.7. Not very good at stopping the run, but either was Max Crosby when he was drafted in the 4th round. He's had some big games at 88.9, a 90, a 77 against Michigan State, against Northwestern, a 68 against Virginia, who was very good, a 62. But man, we already got a defensive end. I probably screwed this whole draft up by taking the best defensive player early. But man, we needed Max Crosby help, right? We needed Max Crosby help. All right, so we are going. What is the best position? What is this defense tackle? Zion Harris out of Mississippi. 185. We were picking 174. Let's check out Zion, see what he's got. A 74 and a 73 back-to-back years. Way more production and defensive snaps. Plays a lot in the B gap. Can play in the A gap. Can play over tackle. Can play outside of tackle. Can play off the ball. Pass rushing grade. That sucks. 62.3. Run defensive grade, which the Raiders need somebody that can get to run, but we need somebody that can get to the quarterback from the inside. And it looks like we're just going to have to take one of those guys in free agency. Caleb Proctor is 189. Zane Durant, Jalen Thompson. I think we can get our defensive tackle a little bit later. And Cameron Ball. 64 run grades, 68 defensive pass grade. He is a mammoth of a man that just played for a horrible, horrible Arkansas Razorbacks defense that gave up 35 yards a game, 3 touchdowns. He is 6'5", 223. Yeah, I believe that would be a solid nose tackle the Raiders could definitely use. So we are going to go back to best available. 184. Yeah, we'll go back to best available. Kind of like, damn. We already have 3 edge rushers. I don't know what they're doing with Malcolm Kuntz, but if they get rid of Malcolm Kuntz, it wouldn't hurt to go get another edge. I really like Max here. Two maxes, one on each side of the defense would be insane. This dude's got a killer ass motor. Um, hard, man. This is hard, man. Think I gotta go linebacker. Oh no, I said that was gonna be Xavier. Sorry. Shit. Who is the best receiver? Brandon Thompson. What do you got? What do you bring to the table? A 79. 79 in coverage, contested catch 33%, not great. Drop rate 8%. Had 5 drops on the season. Um Missed tackles forced 11, deep catches 11, screen catches 11, slot out of the 88, so he can play all around. Had a big game against Arkansas, decent game against Old Miss. 5'9", 170. God, we really need a bigger receiver. Should have went receiver. We should have started this draft over. Just saying. Interior line. Might need a center. Parker Brailsford? No. 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 It's nothing but Arkansas guys. They're worth a shit. Damn, the end of this draft is bad. Bad. All right, what's Hutchinson got? Oh, he was bad too. Bad too. Fuck it. I'm taking another edge. We're gonna have to get to the quarterback one way or another. How many picks we got left? 3? 2/6? It's gonna be a horrible grade. MSU safety. Let's do this. What quarterbacks are left? Sawyer Robinson, Taylor Green, Cole Payton, Miller Moss. Taylor Green is projected to go where? 227? Oh, shit. We ain't taking a quarterback now. But we are going to look back at linebacker. Because we are running out of picks and we got to have somebody. 76, 71, 73, 78 stopping the run, 67 in coverage. Not bad. Missed tackle rate 20%. Jesus flipping criminy. 6'1", 227. Bro, you got to be able to tackle in the NFL. And I guess none of these guys can tackle. Oh, wait, here's Eric Gentry. I think we might go Gentry right here. They're not going to give me a shit. Well. Let's go center. Shitty. Actually, let's go Kevin Coleman. I think he can run punt returns. We need somebody that can run punts, that can run kicks. And we are finally at our last 2 picks, 184 and 189. Let's recap really quick. Mendoza, number 1. Akeem Mesidor. This defense should be nasty, and we should have at least 3 starters. Bud Clark, Akeem Mesidor was a 92. He was a 92 pass rush grade. He was an 88.3 run grade. Pass rush win rate higher than Max has been his whole entire career. Will that go to the NFL? I don't know, but a 20.8 Would love to have a defensive edge rusher with a 20.8 win rate. Crazy, crazy, crazy. 4.9 stopping the run. 94 true pass set run grade. A dude that can straight get to the quarterback. He's gonna cause havoc. Why Max Crosby eats on the other side. And then we have Jennings Dunker, the big dog, right? Had a 90 grade last year, 82 grade this year. Is basically a run blocking offensive lineman at tackle, but can develop, into something hopefully when it comes to pass rush. Bud Clark is a guy that stood out during the combine. I mean, not the combine, during the senior bowl. A guy that was, making a lot of noise. Julian Neal, cornerback from Arkansas, 6'2", 208, has 34.75-inch arms, I do believe. So a guy that's going to get up there and break up, break up plays. Trade Max. We could do one with Trade Max real quick. Keon Coleman. All right, let's pick these last two picks, see what we got. How long I've been on here? I guess that don't really matter, but best available, bro. Best available is a quarterback. We're not taking him. Brendan Thompson out of Mississippi State. Can he run kickoff returns? 79. Contested win rate, 8% drop. Yeah, let's roll with that. I watched Brendan Thompson at Mississippi State destroying my Razorbacks. So we're going to take another receiver and just let him battle it out. And with the final pick, I'm going to waste one just in case. Cole Payton, Moss Miller. Oh, somebody took Taylor Green, you bastards. You flipping bastards. They said he was projected to 248. Damn. That's bullshit. We're at 219. Well, they took my quarterback. So I don't think we're going to waste one on a quarterback. We have Aiden O'Connell. Let's go D-line, Penn State. Sam Durant, I think. No, you're a horrible pass rusher, right? Yeah, horrible pass rush. Illinois. Let's try Illinois. Oh, that's a little better. Run defense, 79.4. Okay, I'm liking. First look, 6'6", 310. Sold. All right, we got D-line. Let's end this shit. Wrap this up. Ow. Fucking mouth is killing me. All right, so we got an A. We got an A minus. Jennings Dunker is a C. Bud Clark was a C. Damn. Julian Neal was a B plus. I'll take a corner B plus all day long in the fourth round. Mike Washington was a C, probably because we didn't need a running back, but still a C. I was running out of picks once we got to the fifth round, so I took a guy that is an edge rusher, kind of like Max Crosby. I mean, we stole Max Crosby in the fourth round. Nobody thought he would turn out to be the player that he was and has been to this day, right? So it worked there. We got Kevin Coleman, a B in the bottom. And then we finished our last two with Brendan Thomas, an A minus and an A plus. So our overall grade for this draft is a A minus. I'll rock with that. Let me know in the comments below how many of you guys think get on the field this year. How many of you guys think have to wait till next year to get on the field? I don't see too many of these being developmental players. In my opinion, I think Jennings Dunker. Let's see what they said I messed up on. You drafted Jennings Dunker, and you had Jadarian Price, who was higher on the board. So they gave me, so basically they're telling me because I took Jennings Dunker, they gave me a C plus. But the reasoning for their C plus is because Jadarian Price, the running back for Notre Dame, was ahead of him with higher numbers. So, you know, PFF and their grading is bullshit. That's a A plus grade right there. But it doesn't matter. We still got an A minus. But shout out to all the people in the building. Um, Mendoza and Messior, what, and Mesidor, yeah, Mendoza and Mesidor. An A and an A. CCB, CC, CC, D, 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 D. That's what we got. Overall grade though. My draft ranks in the top 46% of the draft. Now there should be somewhere on here. Somebody told me that. Wait, that I could go just do something else. It's not working. But yeah, man, let me know. Let me know what y'all think. I think we filled pretty much all the holes, right? We got our quarterback. We got an edge rusher for Max. We got a tackle to protect our guy. We got a safety on defense, which we highly need somebody that can cover. We don't know what's going to happen with Jeremy Chin. He's still on the still on the roster, but is he going to be a guy that plays in the box again? Or are they going to put him, at free safety, at strong safety? We all know he's a strong safety. He plays down low. Um, Bud Clark is one of those guys that can definitely step up and play that role, can get hash to hash, right? Pretty damn good coverage. Julian Neal, if they don't keep Eric Stokes, the Raiders have two nasty, nasty, nasty corners in Julian Neal on one side and Darian Porter Jr. on the other. And I think they will lock the hell out of this defense. So, if we draft like this, man, um I'm looking for a defensive coach that's gonna bring in an updated, modern defensive style, right? That's gonna let guys play man to man, and then maybe run zone in the middle because your linebackers aren't fast because your slot, whoever's playing the slot, we don't know. Maybe they put Eric Stokes at the slot if these guys come balling out. So it is what it is, but I think this is a pretty good, solid ass draft. Let me know how y'all feel. 17 people in the building. Grade this draft. Let me know what you give it. And then I think that should save. All right. And then let's just do one crazy. Let's do one crazy really quick. Um, yeah, let's go Raiders. 7 round. Enter the draft. Um, let's offer trades. Let's see what we could get and just see what happens, right? Let's see what happens and who will take. Let's go. Let's go pick number 2. Let's see what they'll do. Pick 2. Their first round next year from Indy. I don't want that. Indy's going to be decent. I will take their first round. 33 and 44 for the Raiders number 1. They are not buying that shit. It is not even close. All right, so let's get rid of all these and see what the value is. So the value is full, but take if I try to take the New York Jets first and second round, which is pick 2 and pick 16, see down here. It won't show y'all that. It's covered up by Rosetown, somebody's name. Hold on, let me get rid of that. There we go. Well, can't get rid of that. Shit, I didn't know that was up the whole time, y'all. I apologize. Somebody should have said some shit. But you see this? Oh my goodness. At the bottom left hand of the screen, it says trade value right over here. That is the trade value. There's a 32% chance that they will trade their first their two first round picks this year for Fernando Mendoza. So we are going to try something a little different. We will take um okay, so they'll trade their first and second next year. Can we get 33? They said absolutely no. Can we get 44? They say no. 103. So the best picks that they are offering without forcing a trade, because I don't want to force a trade because that's just shitty, um, would be swap picks. We get pick 103, which is what, a fourth round? Third? Yeah, fourth round. I don't think I'm down for that. I'm not down for that. I'm not down for that. So back out of this trade. Let's try something different. Let's see if the Dallas Cowboys, because there's a lot of talk, right, about Max Crosby being traded. Now, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it right now. I've told y'all how I feel about Max. If they trade him, they trade him. I think we could turn this team around. However, if you look at his salary cap hit this year, there's no team willing to give a first this year and a second next year for Max Crosby. Mark my words, unless it's a Super Bowl team that loses a defensive end in the middle of the season and they need to fill that void, then somebody might possibly. El Pistafo, what's good? Appreciate you. Somebody might possibly do that, but that's a very big might possibly. So we're gonna go defensive player Max Crosby, and we are gonna go to the Cowboys and see if we can get 12 and 20. And they're saying yeah. The percentage that this trade would be accepted is very, very high. So let's throw in another. Damn. 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 So basically, they're saying we can get whatever we want for Max Crosby. The trade will likely be accepted. So let's just fuck around and find out. Max Crosby, we will take um their 12th, their 20th, and pick 102. I mean 112. What do we get out of that? Well, let's find out. Let's find out. Max is gone, and this is what we have. Wait, where the hell my picks go? Wait, that ain't right. The fuck just happened? Oh, okay. What? That's not supposed to be 36. It was supposed to be a first round, 20th. What the hell happened? That did not work out right. What? All right, we have to restart this. That did not work. Dice no bueno. Dice no bueno. Start this again. Don't show everybody my email. What the fuck just happened, bro? I don't know what happened, but they said it was a first. Let's try this again. Y'all see what I'm picking on, right? We're going with Dallas Cowboys. Wherever the hell they are. Right here, Dallas Cowboy. So they have pick 12. I want that. They have pick 20. I want that. And pick 112. 4. Player select. Max Crosby. Yeah, see, something was up because they are not willing to do that. They don't want that. They won't even give me a first round. See, that's what I thought. I needed to reset that shit. Something was up. So the chances of Dallas Cowboys giving up a first round pick, number 12 overall, by itself to Max Crosby is 32%. Now, pick 20 is definitely accepted. They will not throw in Green Bay's. They will not throw in their first pick. They will throw in 112. You could basically take their whole entire draft. They will throw in every pick to trade Max. But you think Max is worth a 20 and a 12? Let's try second round next year. Yeah, they don't want to trade that. They'll give up a third next year, but we might as well take the third this year. All right, so we're taking 20, 112, and 150 for a fourth round pick in Max Crosby. And let's just see what that does for our draft. We are on the clock. That's all the picks I could do is one trade. Damn, I was trying to trade Mendoza too. All right, so pick number one is obvious. I mean, I don't even know why you're here. Oh shit. I'm not that smart. Let's try this. One more time and I'm getting off here. Damn it. I forgot to pick the flipping rounds. All right. Enter. Let's try this pick. Let's see what we can get from Mendoza. I don't really want to trade Max. Because I just want to see what going a different route with a different quarterback looks like. Because you have Kubiak in the building, right? Isn't he the quarterback whisperer, right? The quarterback guru. So do we really need a first overall pick if we have one of the top talented minds as an offensive coordinator as our head coach? Told you Kubiak and Mendoza. We ain't trading shit. Shit. Raider Paul's been right. No, appreciate you, my guy, pulling up in the building. I think everybody was hoping for Kubiak, right? And we're hoping, man. We're hoping. We're hoping. So let's go Jets 2 and next year for number 1. There's a 74% chance. We throwing 33? Hell no. We're throwing 44? Hell no. 103? That's not enough to really do shit. We're moving back one spot and we're getting 103. Nah, I can't do that. That's trash. That's trash. Let's see what Mike LaFleur and the Arizona Cardinals want to give up. Let's see if they give up the third overall pick, a first round next year, and 34 for 55%. 50 connection lost. Damn. Y'all still here? What the fuck happened? Can y'all still hear me? It just said connection was lost. I don't know what happened, but I guess it didn't like the 2-hour mark. Second round, offensive guard. Third round, another guard. Fourth round, another guard. What if we get some of those guys in free agency? Why does it say trade 14? Is there 14 trades? I don't get it. I don't get it. You blinked for a second. On my last break, stop to yell, Raiders! All right, let's see again. Nobody wants to give us a first for Max Crosby. Who in here needs a Max Crosby? I would think it would be the Chicago Bears, but they pick 25th. 25th, bro. 25th? It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us. All right. No trades, no trades. I guess nobody wants to trade. Nobody wants our quarterback. How come nobody wants our QB? Let's go first. Let's go third. Let's go first next year. And 34. See, Mendoza's not even worth on an app. You know what JD5 was worth last year when I was trying to trade up for Jaden Daniels? They were willing to pay like 4 or 5 first round picks. I could have clicked first, but it only goes to 3 years. But I could have clicked every pick that they had plus a player, and they were still trying to get. So let's see what the Lions have. Detroit would be a place for Max. They picked 17th. Let's see if Detroit is willing to give 17 a first round next year. Let's get rid of that. Let's see what they'll give for Max. And it went completely blank. So for Max Crosby, if we take away this, they will accept. Basically just a first. That's all they're willing to get. I tried the Cowboys. They don't want to give up nothing but a first either. 1 first round is all we're getting from Max Crosby so far. I wouldn't even trade him for 1 first round. I mean, I'd rather just keep him. It's not even worth trading. 1 first round is not going to make a bigger difference than what Max Crosby does for this team. Let's change this view. There we go. Appreciate y'all. All right, let's see if the Rams at pick 13. Let's see if the Rams want to take pick number 1. 13, 29 in a first next year. Oh, they'll take that. Can we add a 61? Would you trade that? Let me know. Would y'all take this trade for Mendoza? We go from 1 to 13, but we also get 29, 61 in a first round next year, which guarantees us a quarterback, right? Offer trade. Trade accepted. Bro, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's rock with that. So the Raiders are on the clock, and we have moved from number 1, which is absolutely crazy, right? From number 1 to 13. But if y'all didn't see my mock draft earlier, go back and watch the live and check out that mock draft. But the Rams select Fernando Mendoza. The Jets select Arvell Reese. Ruben Bain Jr. goes 3rd again. Jeremiah Love again goes to the Tennessee Titans. David Bailey again goes to the Jets. Jordan Tyson again goes to this is the same draft as last time. To the Browns. Carnell Tate. He didn't go to Washington, did he? No, they got a corner. They got Gerard McCoy last time. Sonny Styles goes to the Saints. Last time he went to the to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs got Gerard McCoy, Caleb Downs, Mensador Delane is gone. Cassius Howell is gone. And who the hell are we picking at pick number 13 in the draft? And I just traded away our number one pick. I don't know. I didn't have a plan for this. Malachi Lemon, Francis Mauigoa, break over, back to work. Raiders. Peter Woods. I hope your Peter is not in the woods because fucking you're gonna get ticks and shit on it. Trade AOC for a third round pick. If they would give us a third round pick for AOC, I would trade AOC for a third round pick. As much as I love Aiden O'Connell, I don't think anybody gives up more than a fifth, maybe a sixth, just because he hasn't, because the Raiders don't use him. But we got Keldrick Falk right here. I like, Caleb Banks, Spencer Fano, Avion Terrell, Denzel Boston. Who we picking? Let me know who y'all got out of this. Cade McDonald, the best guard in all of football. Olavea Vega Lone, TJ Parker out of Clemson, Caden Proctor, CJ Allen. I like that. If we're asking me, kind of like Celdrick Falk. I don't know why I want to go edge number one, but y'all talk about it. I got to get a drink, and I got to grab the dab rig. I need smoke. Oh, shit, fire. All right, I'm back. Oh, it wasn't long. You trade AOC for a cheesesteak and a bag of Lay's. That's some bullshit, man. I don't know why everybody wants to hate on the cerebral assassin. The cerebral assassin. Y'all know he picks people apart. He is absolutely deadly. But damn, I'm running out of picks to pick for giving up that number one pick. So it wasn't looking too good. Kind of like Monroe Feeling way down there. Akeem Mesidor at 32. Ty Simpson. Nakai Lemon. Francis Mauigoa. I really like. Peter Woods. Do we go defensive tackle? We go defensive tackle here? Didn't really get as many picks as I thought I was going to get, but I mean, shit. I'm going to go with Keldrick Falk. Number 16. An edge. Where is Keem Mesidor, Ty Simpson, Chris Bell, Anthony Hill? I need a fucking linebacker so bad. It'd be crazy to take CJ at 13. Chopio, 13? CJ Allen? Where's he at? He's 24th? Damn, can I trade again? I need another trade. You know what? Man, let's build for the future. Can't take a tackle right now. That's crazy. All right, let's see what Peter Woods has got, man. Let's see what Peter Woods has got. I'll turn on this camera for a second. And turned on the Boost Evo. So we have, y'all can still hear me, right? Okay. Damn, he was an 87 2 years ago. He was an 83, and then he dropped to a 72 this year. But Clemson's whole team dropped off. So if you're looking at that, right, he is the 65 pass rush grade. He is a 74 run defensive grade and a 74 set pass rush grade. 8.1 rush win rate. That is not a first overall pick in the draft. For real? Windstorm. Windstorm. Okay. Maybe trading the first overall pick wasn't a good idea for as low as I traded him for. This is going to be a shitty draft. I don't really like it so far. But I'm going to go. Let's see if we can trade again. Let's see if we can trade again. Tampa Bay has 15. Where are we at? Where did we drop to? 13? Holy shit. We dropped all the way to 13. Right, who's next? Who's close to us? Yeah, that's not going to work either. I really wanted Sonny Styles. I was hoping this was going to work out better. David Bailey or Sonny Styles would be on the board, and they are not. So we will just go through position rankings. I don't want to draft. Don't want drafting. Shit, fire. That shit was fire. That shit was fire. Cancel trade. Cancel trade. Did it cancel the trade? Oh shit. It's not canceling. Great. That's all I wanted. Now get me out of here. All right, draft player will be Spencer Fano, Avion Terrell. Man, we really need a corner. He has a dog. Denzel Washington, Caden McDonald, a guard, an edge. Let's go, Francis Magoa. We're going tackle. This round, we have pick 29. We have Christian Miller, defensive tackle from Georgia. Brendan Cease, I like that. Akeem Mesidor again. Ty Simpson is still on the board. Toledo's Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I like McNeil Warren a lot. I like Chris Bell. I should have took him last time. But we also have pick 36. So this needs to be at least within the top 30. And there's only 2, 3. Should we go Ty Simpson here? Should we go Ty Simpson here? Anthony Hill, 39, 61. Kind of like Brandon Miller. We really need a defensive tackle, man. He has a 70 pass rushing grade. He has a 90 run defensive grade. He has 11% pass win rate. He has 260 games all year. An 80 against Ole Miss, a 70 almost against Alabama, 63 against Georgia Tech, 70 against the Longhorns. Mississippi State, a 76, an 80 against Auburn. a 75 against Texas. Yeah, I think we'll go defensive tackle right here. The pick is in. Christian Miller. Draft. Pick 36. I'm going probably Anthony Hill. I'm thinking, really thinking Anthony Hill here. What do we have? Receiver wise, Chris Bell, ooh, Omar Cooper, Elijah Surratt, CJ Daniels, Skylar Bell, too. 79. Darian Burks from Oklahoma. We should have took in the last round. Malachi Fields is 97. That's, I don't know how, dude. I think he's a first round pick. I really do believe Malachi Fields is a first round pick. I'm gonna wait on a receiver. I'm probably gonna take him with 67 because we have some top picks. But I think Chris Bell. I got a tackle in a D line. All right. I am going to go Anthony Hill at linebacker. Dante Larson. I like Jake Gludy. Fuck. Joshua Trotter. Rodriguez at 90s. We picked 3 times before then. Yeah, he's going to be gone. I like Harold Perkins. Kyle Lewis. If we can get Kyle Lewis, 167. Okay, shit. We don't need a linebacker. Remember 117. 117 or 102. Remind me to take a linebacker, please. Please remind me to take a linebacker. Please. We have Gabe Lucas, Zion Young, Overton, Romeo Height. I like these edge rushers here too. Jonathan Lucas. Tariq Sapp. Does anybody know if Tariq Sapp is related to Warren Sapp? I like Malachi Lawrence also. I'd be willing to take him at 154 so we can get an edge. Get an edge there. Nice. This turned out to be pretty good. Running back we can get later. Corner. What's the best corner? Is 35 right now. I like Keith Aubrey and Colton Hood. And Keon Scott. Pounds. Shit. I like all of them. Julian Neal's at 124. I can't take him every time, right? What's interior line? All right, let's just build up this line right now. I know he's not the best player on the board. Wait, where's Zach Hecht? Sam Hecht? Hecht? Is that him? I think it's Sam Hecht. Sam Hecht, Kansas State. Yeah, that's that kid. All right, so we don't need that. Best player on the board then is Keith Aubrey. I think that's the best pick. I definitely think that's the best pick for us. At 67, I like Price. I like Isaiah Trotter here. Really like that Max kid again. We should have got Elijah Surratt. I think you have to go Trinidad Chambliss now. I don't want to take the chance of him not being on the board anymore. So we're going Chambliss here. And then the best linebacker is Jeremiah Trotter. I did like him against my Razorbacks. 88 run defense, pass rush grade, coverage grade not great, but we need a Mike linebacker, and our corners can shut down whoever. Ray Lewis wasn't a great coverage linebacker. He was a dog that crushed people, took people's spirits, broke people's ribs, right? Um, I think Trotter could be that dude. Not saying he's a Ray Lewis. Don't get carried away. Interior line doesn't look very appealing. Razel, CJ Daniels, Skyler, Zach Branch. All these cats can wait. Like Jacoby Lane at 136 here. Y'all ain't got no the tackle from Miami. Did I miss that? I got that. And oh shit, I forgot to turn it back on. My bad. I was cheersing and I forgot to turn it back on. I got I got blasted. I got blasted, yo. All right, but you can hear me though. Y'all need to see my ugly face to do a mock draft. I kind of like another tackle, man. I like another tackle here. I want to. This is all that's on the board: tackle, center. Connor Lew is okay. I really like Anthony Lucas at edge here at 69. Let's do that. Let's do that. I really like Jacob Rodriguez here. Did we not take a linebacker? We got Francis Malagoa. We got Christian Miller, Aubrey, Chase, Trinidad Chambliss. What messages? What messages do you want? You're having issues with my. What do you want me to do? Woman. There, snap. Sorry. People are very frustrating sometimes. An edge, Anthony Lucas. So we brushed up. We didn't need an edge, but I got one anyways. I think we need one. We got our quarterback. We got our cornerback. We got our defensive line. We got our tackle. The Raiders need a quarterback. We got a tackle, a defensive line. And I think our next pick is going to have to be Jacob Rodriguez right here. I just think he's a baller. I like Xavier Scott at this position, but he's the best linebacker on the board. And I'm gonna go that there. And then I'm gonna see if my other linebacker here is because yes, I really want to take two linebackers. Yes, Kyle Lewis from Pitt. He was at 83 last year with 838 snaps. This year it's a little bit less. 33 or 73.1 with only 668 snaps, which most of them were in run defense, not so much in the pass rush, right? Not a great cover guy. So maybe, but coverage grade is a 72.3, which is very high for a linebacker. It's in the blue. Average depth of run tackles 6.7. So it seems like he's usually, pretty far off the ball, which is about a linebacker, unless he's, on the line of scrimmage, is probably a good 5 to 7 yards away from the ball carrier. So it seems like a guy that, holds his ground, holds his distance. Missed tackle rate was at a 10.9%. I really don't like that. Reminds me of a Divine Diablo not being able to tackle a mannequin in a department store, type shit. That type shit. The hell you still messaging me for, bro? Oh damn, I've been on here 2.5 hours. All right, we're gonna wrap these up. I don't know why my lives are always so long. I apologize, but I appreciate the 6 people that hung in there. Um, Completion 78, 67. He was targeted 61 times, gave up 48 targets. That's way better than any of the linebackers we've had. He had two interceptions with only three touchdowns allowed. Passer rating allowed 99. That's not bueno. It's not bueno, but it's not no bueno, right? Fuck. I know Rodriguez, he's not the fastest, but he could cover. Um, right? So Harold Perkins is not anywhere near the player Kyle Lewis is. And if you see him at the Senior Bowl practice, this kid just stood out to me. He stood out a lot. I hate to go back to back linebackers, but we really need to let all the ones we got go if this is a true rebuild and go young here. Just my opinion. Because after that, I mean, there's Eric Gentry. There's not a lot. Jack Kelly, maybe. Not too many linebackers. So, so, we need a linebacker. We need a guard. Can I get a linebacker in the next round? Probably not one that could cover. Is there anyone with a coverage grade? What about Oregon's linebacker? What is your coverage grade? Okay, coverage grade 78.3. Pass rush, that's fine because we just drafted one that can get to the quarterback. Run defense grade 92. Missed tackle rates a 10. That's not the greatest. 79th in the country. Coverage stops. Passer rating allowed 76.3. Where's he at? Bryce Butcher at 209. Okay, let's go with him there. So we can wait till pick 184 probably to get our linebacker if he's still there. Maybe, possibly. Somebody might pick him up just because of his coverage grade. But I think that's the best coverage grade. So far. 67 there. Sorsby, I thought had a good coverage grade. Nope, it's a 47. Damn. It's Utah linebacker. Missed tackle coverage grade. Nope. So the coverage grades do not get better. Eric Gentry, USC, had a good year last year. Was a little bit lackluster this year. 75 coverage grade, 71 rut. Okay. I wish I knew this man's 40 time. How big is he? 6'6", 225? Okay. So we're taking Eric Gentry before this motherfucking draft is over. So right now, Bud Clark is here again. I like Bud Clark. We still need a corner. What are our picks? Tackle, defensive tackle. Oh, we got a corner. We got our corner. We got our edge. We got our linebacker. So out of our needs, we need a guard. We need a guard. And shit. And we can pick freely from there on out. All needs are fulfilled. All guys that can contribute right away, I do believe. Trinidad Chambliss might, not might, probably does need a city year, but that's fine. Maybe through camp, who knows? With the coach we got now, I think Anthony Lucas plays from day one. I know Christian Miller plays from day one. Francis Magoa, definitely a day one starter. So we got a lot of day one starters here. The needs are fulfilled except wide receiver. All right, we have to look at wide receiver, right? We filled linebacker, edge, corner. We need a guard and a wide receiver, and we are done with fulfilling needs. think we can get a wide receiver later. Jacoby Lane at 136. We might want to take him now. We might want to take Jacoby now. Receiving grade 81. Average route 2.4. It's not bad. Contested catch rate 43, a little under 50%. 7.5 drop rate. Great on man coverage. 75. That's big. What is his size? 6'4", 200. You got to have somebody to throw the ball to, really. I think we missed on a receiver last time. What's Eric McAllister, real quick? Eric McAllister is 6'3", 205. Don't draft. Holy shit. Almost drafted him. Phew. No, go back. All right. Eric McAllister is 77. A little bit less on a contested. A little bit more drop rate. A little bit worse in man. I know we need a wideout, but there are guys like Alec. I don't know. There's a couple receivers out there. The Colts receiver, not Alex Bachman, our Alec, but Jacoby Lane, Bryce Lane. I really like Ted Hurst and Montgomery, and both of them were gone last time. I think Taylor Montgomery would be great for anybody, and I'd hate to not take him now and him be gone, but I don't know. I'm gonna take the chance for it. Let's go with yeah. I'm taking two corners. I don't care what they say, man. We need a chance to lock down this defense, and I think we need guys that know Klint Kubiak's system that we can bring in the offense. Bo Stevens is the guard that I was looking at for Iowa, I do believe. 129. Let's go, Bo Stevens. We needed a guard. And then the rest is just pick at will. Pick at will. Savion Thompson. We do need a safety. Six-one, 205. Coverage grade, run defensive grade. As a safety, we already have Jeremy Chin. I don't think that's going to help us. My guy Max is there again. All right, let's go back over to picks. See what we got. We got a tackle, Francis Maligoa. We traded the first overall pick, right? Just for something to do. Christian Miller. A dog. A dog. Run grade, 90. Pass rush grade, not so much. But you got plenty of time to work on that. I believe we're going to have some good staff members. Keith Aubrey. Some people have him at number 2. Some people have him at number 3 in this draft. 85 coverage grade. 77 in the run. Man coverage grade is 77. Zone coverage grade is at 81. You run a lot of zone. I don't know what the defense will be. I'm not sure what Kubiak style is or what it fits. Shout out for the $2 holla, right? I'm not positive what that is or what it fits or what it will entail. So we have Keith Aubrey. We have Trinidad Chambliss. We took in the second round, pick 61. Get it out of the way. We got our quarterback, somebody that can, make exciting plays. Anthony Lucas, Jacob Rodriguez, Julian Neal, Bo Steele. This is a nice ass draft. Holy shit. We got some players. So now let's just have some fun. Best available, but we don't need a tight end. Savion Johnson out of LSU. I don't think we need any of those. Brennan Thompson at Mississippi. Who out here is a sleeper that I know? Dane Key, Baker Bracefield, Jeremiah Matthews, Denman Jackson. My bad. Caleb Douglas. What's Caleb Douglas got? What's Mr. Douglas bring to the table? 6'4", 205. Receiving grade of 68. Contested catch, not very good. Drop rate, not very good. Slot 712, 52nd. These grades are ass. Doesn't really tell me shit. Had 2 breakout games. One against OSU. That's a good defense. USF, West Virginia. Projected 198. Nah. No. I don't really like Zayon Thomas. Our guard. We already got 2 corners. Oh, let's go running back. What you bring to the table? 5'8", 175. Okay, we need a little spark plug. Run grade, zone grade 78.6. Gap grade. Exclusive rating 53. Oh, very good. Not very good. Holy shit. The talent really drops off here. All right, what do we have running back wise? Besides Dedmon Reed, Robert Henry Jr. I have no idea who that is. Stewart, I don't know. Who's in? Eli Haydenrich. Yes. Why is he 224? The man was a 91 and a 92. The Raiders need somebody with a run grade that's an 86.1, gap grade 85, zone grade 74. Somebody to get out in front of Ashton Genty. And we've seen it, in Seattle. Not always do they use, but they always seem to have a tight end or somebody in the backfield to help their running game. Their running game is nasty. I really like Eli Haydenrich, but that is what pick. Oh shit, he'll still be there, I think. Kalen Black, another guy. Not too great. We got tackle, we got guard, D tackle, running back, edge, linebacker, corner. Did we not take 2 corners? Oh, I thought I took another corner. Okay, well, we could do that. Corner or a safety, I think, is the biggest demand. And we will look at corner is Devon Marshall, NorCal State. Run grade coverage. Holy shit. Okay, let's draft Devon Marshall. And then let's get help on the safeties. Robert Spears Jennings. Cole Wisniewski, Texas Tech. $80 run grade, 80 coverage grade. What does he look like? 6'4", 220 draft. And then I forgot who I was going to pick with the last pick. I thought it was a linebacker, right? Or running back. I forgot which one. Eric Gentry, right? Is that the dude that was six whatever? 6'6", 225 draft. He could be developed. 6'6", 225. Come on. You got to be able to cover. I don't know how fast you are, but if you can't cover, then it is what it is. And then the last one, we're going to get some help. We're going to get some help for Ashton Genty with a full back. That's what we're running with. All right, so what we got on this one? They're grading my shits. Great job. Looks like a great job. No suggestions available for this draft. Okay, well, let's download image. Boom. Oh, I didn't download the last one. Son of a biscuit head. All right, so Raiders Rebel trade back. We got rid of our quarterback, but we got another quarterback, and we got back in black, silver and black, right? Don't have a heart attack. We still got a quarterback, but we traded back, and we got a monster, 6'8", the size of a Volkswagen, Francis Mauigoa, an A. We got a defensive tackle, somebody that could stop the run in the middle, right? Somebody that could definitely bring a double team. You're going to have to double team this man if you don't want him destroying your running backs or quarterbacks, right? Christian Miller out of Georgia, A minus. We got Keith Aubrey the second, an A at corner from Arizona State. We got Trinidad Chambliss in the second round, A minus. Quarterback, Ole Miss, right? A guy that has huge upside, that wanted to stay one more year in college because he knows, he needed one more year to develop. What's good? What's good? So we got Trinidad. We got Anthony Lucas, a B minus. I'll take the B minus, right? No big deal. Jacob Rodriguez. If you watch the Senior Bowl, if you watch any of the practices, you've seen this man was all over the field, deflecting balls, coveraging, breaking on passes from 2-3 yards away from receivers, running backs, disruptive as hell. If you watched him at all during college, Jacob Rodriguez, he's a dog. I didn't see him dropping until the fourth. I didn't either. That's probably why it's an A. But more than likely, he'll be gone by the second. We all know that. Anthony Lucas probably will be gone by the second as well. Julian Neal probably will be gone. Wait, not probably. He's a top 5, top 10 corner in this draft, so I don't see him getting past the second or third. They don't really take corners a lot in the first rounds anymore. But then after that, they kind of go on runs depending on the class. So we got Julian Neal out of Arkansas, 6'2", 208 pounds, like 34 plus inch arms, right? A guy that is a lockdown corner. So depending on what the defense runs for the Raiders, you can run man on one side and cover 2 or cover 3 on the other side or whatever, right? Nowadays, shit, you run man and cover 2 on one side and cover 3 in the middle with the linebackers. Shit, like it, or zone, not cover 3, but zone in the middle, right? So you never know what defenses are doing, the way they're mixing shit up. But Julian Neal, I think, brings a good pairing, whether it's in the slot. He can play outside. He is an outside guy because of his size, because of his, lockdown ability. But him with Darian Porter and his development on the corners, even if you do keep Eric Stokes, you still let him come in slowly and get play time. I think he takes that job easily. Again, a guy that I don't see getting out of the second round for Julian Neal. Bo Stevens, A minus if you watched any of the combine, or not the combine, but the Senior Bowl practices or the Senior Bowl. Dude is a dog. He can hold his own one on one. Can play multiple spots. A minus there. Devon Marshall, corner B plus. Big guy out of North Carolina, was damn good coverage grade, damn good run grade. So scooped him up, and then we needed a safety. We got a D um, towards the end. Shit, I didn't know. And then, damn, Cole Wisniewski, he was a 80 passer rush and an 83 coverage wise, and they gave me a D, but I guess he was picked 202, so 20 picks too early. But I think that kid's going to be a dog. Um, Eric Gentry, the linebacker from out of USC, right? The guy is 6'5", man. 6'5", 200 and something pounds. Absolute monster for a linebacker. They could give me an F. I'll eat the F all day because I think this dude is going to be a player in the NFL. Just his size, his ability you know, to grow and to learn once he gets to the NFL, like he did, like he has so far, pretty much. So a name to watch out for. Again, I'll take the F all day. And then, I couldn't pass up on the Navy fullback. You got to have somebody to lead the way for Ashton Genty, somebody to open up some holes. If you watched Indiana, if you watched their offense, right, last year, they had a tight end hybrid slash fullback that was constantly lined up in the backfield when they ran the ball, and they ran the ball damn good. He caught the ball out of the backfield. He was the security blanket for the quarterback. So I kind of like that pick right there. But let me know how y'all feel, how y'all think, what y'all doing. Do you like it? Do you love it? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, the overall grade is an A, which is cool. I'll take the A. I'm really pissed off that I did not keep the last one. And trading back for Fernando Mendoza, probably not the brilliantest move. We moved back 12 spots. Absolutely crazy, right? But it was just for fun, just to see the different amount of high quality players. I mean, an A, an A, an A, an A minus, an A minus, an A, a B, an a B, a minus, a B plus. Like, so, yeah, that's how many picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 picks in the draft, and you end up with the A. I don't think you can go wrong from there. And with that, I just got to say, welcome to the Las Vegas Raiders, Klint Kubiak. Hopefully, keep our fingers crossed, right? I'm not going to jump for joy or get over excited or too excited. But I really like the fact that the Raiders took their time. They did what they needed to do. They did their due diligence. They interviewed a bunch of guys twice. I really wish Mike LaFleur would have got another interview. However, I guess he didn't, shock him enough or awe him enough, or maybe he just didn't want the job and was planning on Arizona the whole time, right? So maybe that was the case. But shout out to all the guys that got jobs in the NFL. The coaching search is now done and over, and the Raiders are on to newer, greater, and higher pastures. Who are some of those guys they could bring in? Solid draft, bro. Appreciate you right there. Rebel, are you seeing my comments? Yeah, I just read it. I just read it. Um, I don't know what the hell that was. So, who are some guys, right? Who are some guys you can bring in on the squad? We will break down more tomorrow. We will break down offense, defense, but more than likely, if I'm a betting man, and since it is Vegas, right? I feel like Klint Kubiak has his guys already in mind. There's a couple guys online people have talked about that are already on the squad. The offensive line coach, I can't remember anybody's name. I've been on here 3 hours. I don't I don't remember anymore. But we'll break down more tomorrow about Klint Kubiak. You know the difference in this offensive line, and the main part the main part, I believe, right? Because if you talk to any coach or you listen to any coach, the one thing they all say is it wasn't me, it was my staff. So for a coach, you're a leader of men. But the guys that really do the main jobs that are with these players the most, day in and day out, that are developing these players, that are getting them to do drills, that are, building relationships, is always more the staff members than it is the head coach, right? You don't spend a whole lot of time with head coach unless it's in a meeting and he's standing up talking. The rest of the time, probably don't even see the man too much, right? It's the rest of the coaches that develop these players and get the best out of our players. So we got the great leader, great offensive mind in the building that everybody wants. Now it's time to figure out who he's going to bring in, and we won't know until after the Super Bowl because we can't officially hire him till then. But I'm sure there will be plenty of leaks, 20 of people talking about it, including myself. I've talked about it before. I've done a couple of videos on it, or not videos, but in my lives I mentioned, and I'll probably start doing some videos because they get circulated, I think, a little bit more, a little bit shorter, not a 3-hour live where all the topics get overran. You feel me? So yeah, I think, let me get the fuck off of here. Let me get rid of this. Bam. Yeah, much better. All right, so that live is done. Much better, much better. But yeah, man, I feel like that was a pretty decent live. You know, I hope everybody liked it. Hope everybody liked the mock drafts. Give me a grade before you bounce, before you dip. Like, subscribe if you're not already, but give me a grade, A through F, on both of my mock drafts. If you've seen them both, on just one, if you've seen just one. But let me know your grade. If not, before I end this, when the video's over and it's posted, man, it really helps get people out there, pull up to it, like it, share it. We are growing. We are close to 2,000. I think in 2 years, I would have thought I would have been way past that, but just my expectations. So 84% of my viewers do not subscribe to the channel. That is a huge amount. If you watch this video and you are not subscribed to the channel, man, please think about subscribing to the channel or stop watching. Much love. Appreciate y'all. Let me know if you have any top players, if you have any top guys that you think Kubiak will bring in from current staffs, whether it be, the Saints, the Seahawks. I don't really think he'll poach too many guys from Seattle. I don't think, you want to burn bridges like that in the NFL. You're not going to leave a team that, brought you in, gave you an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl, help get to the Super Bowl, and then you walk away from them and you take a bunch of their players and their staff members. I don't think that's a way to roll in life, right? You don't want to burn those bridges. You should have better character and better integrity than that. Just my opinion. So peace. Much love. Thanks for watching. I'm out.